as possible. And the victim is Anaya Womack, a 19-year-old girl who had her life ended from a single gunshot wound to her stomach.
Anaya Womack's cousin, Autumn Redding, says that the family's in a lot of pain today.
The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office says right now they don't know where the shooting happened. News for Jax reporter Marilyn Parker joining us live from Jazz. So, Marilyn, police are questioning the two people who dropped Womack off at the hospital.
The police said that they don't know if those two people were good Samaritans or suspects in this case.
At first, the driver and Mariah claimed to the police that they had picked up Anaya and taken her to the hospital after finding her injured walking on the sidewalk in a very strange way. But that doesn't add up. I mean, the girl has a serious wound to her stomach. She also has no shoes, no phone, no ID on her, nor a wallet. She was just casually walking on the sidewalk at night alone.
Break free with the new Opera GX, a browser that puts you in control with a brand new design that frees up even more pixels for personalization and an inventory of features to up.
So y'all just picked the lady up?
Yes, and we just seen like maybe like she looked like, you feel me, like you know she was gonna fall, but
like but you see the red on her shirt.
Right.
And you see, but you can see like you feel it up road, you feel me?
yeah, like she like help. We just like okay, like we're gonna get you there. Like just stay up, like don't die on us.
Right.
So we just put her back to her help. That's
Got you.
boy ain't trying to speed, but I'm telling
No,
you.
I got you. I figured something was up.
Get her here, like you feel me?
That just raises even more questions. It's safe to say the cops did not buy that. They knew something was wrong from the beginning. So they ended up detaining both the driver and Mariah while they started investigating.
Dude, you ever stand up for me?
Yeah,
Yeah, you're detained. Stand up. Come on. Both of y'all. Well, because y'all were, I know you were there.
Who, me?
Yeah, so turn around, put your hands behind your back.
I ain't even do nothing, bro.
You were just being detained because you drove. Alright, so we're going to figure it out. You're detained. You're detained until I find out the truth. Let's go figure out the truth. Because the truth is a lot more powerful than an accident. So if it's what it was, that's what it was. But until I find out the truth, because you wanted to give me a bullshit story at first, now I'm gonna have to detain you until I get the real story. So I'll meet you phone after I'm fit here. Yep. After I figure out what the truth is. Come on.
Then to make the matter so much worse and confirm the initial suspicion, the police received a phone call shortly after alleging that both Anaya and Maria had been in the same apartment just an hour earlier. But they weren't only hanging out, they were recording TikTok videos. According to People.com, authorities said the report said that Womack, or Anaya, was filming Clayton, or Mariah, as she attempted to make the TikTok videos where Clayton popped out of the shower while using the rifle as a prop. Then at some point the rifle discharged and struck Womack. What a stupid thing to be doing. She opened the shower curtain with a loaded rifle and it fired? Come on, guys. Authorities said that Clayton was culpably negligent in the way that she handled the rifle. She was repeatedly told by others in the apartment not to play with the rifle, but handled it anyway. Firearm safety 101. Don't point a firearm at anything that you're not ready to obliterate. It doesn't matter if you don't think it's loaded or not. Then on top of that, just never use firearms under the influence, which I suspect happened here, as clearly you're one slip up away from altering your family and other loved ones' lives forever. This is so unavoidable. Losing a life over a TikTok dance video should not happen, especially from, oh, we're gonna do a funny shower curtain stunt. We're gonna open the shower curtain with a rifle. That's not worth losing your life over. It's depressing and frustrating that this entire situation.
My thing is this: if he gonna play with a gun or something, why you even take the bullets out?
So avoidable. But anyway, after the police found out that she was ignoring her friends, telling her to not play with a rifle, that's when they started asking questions to the couple. And they eventually admitted that Anaya was injured during the incident at the apartment complex, where several other people were present, including Mariah. Not the driver, though. It turns out the driver had nothing to do with that. After questioning, it became clear that this guy was not involved. He was genuinely just trying to help, so he was released. Mariah, on the other hand, she was already off to a bad start by lying from the beginning. First, she told the police that she didn't know Anaya, even though that they'd been in the same room for several hours and recorded TikToks together the night of the incident. But since that lie didn't hold up for long, she was taken and the cops brought her in for an interview. And by the end of that interview, she was arrested, but not for the reason that you might think.
Our generation isn't turning away from the world's problems. Watch us fly ahead, rise to every challenge, and overcome anything. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Alright, so we're all done. Appreciate you talking to us and stuff. I do have some bad news though. Alright, you do have 2 warrants. It's not from us. It looks like, well, I mean, it's from JSO. It's not from us. It's not for this incident. It looks like you have a violation of probation for, I think it was what you were telling me, the criminal mischief or whatnot, vandalism with a car. It doesn't tell me what you violated. It just says the statute, criminal mischief, which is vandalism. So you got that warrant, and then I think it's via violation of probation and a failure to appear for a petty theft.
She wasn't booked for the shooting that night, but it turns out that she had some outstanding warrants previous to this incident. So the police kept working on the case in the meantime, even way after she was released, and went back to living her normal life. And you know, after going through that, you would think it would only be natural to assume that maybe you would reflect on your actions, but instead, she went right back to TikTok on her account, and she would record the same type of videos, holding firearms and just doing everything like nothing ever happened. She didn't learn a single thing from this incident, and it wasn't until 5 months later that the police would bring her back again to talk about these latest videos. And this time, they actually had a warrant regarding the case of Anaya.
What's your fascination with guns? Like, why do you like to be around guns?
I don't like to be around guns. I never asked nobody to come pull up on me with a gun.
Not like that.
Just dudes carry guns.
Why do you hang around dudes who have guns? That a situation like happened when you had a gun, when you was around a gun happened. So why do you continue to hang around people who have? We got this to show her.
Okay, I don't hang around nobody who have guns. That's somebody who's having their own gun.
Let me speak.
It comes around me. I don't hang with nobody around guns. I don't hang with nobody around guns.
She was arrested and sent to a trial a few months later. The judge then sentenced Mariah to 5 years in prison and 5 years of probation. But according to First Coast News, in a letter shared with the court the day Mariah pleaded guilty, she expressed a lot of regret for the incident and went on to say that the shooting was truly an accident and that she regrets not thinking it through. I wake up every morning wishing I did everything different. It's just a shame that no amount of hoping or wishing would bring her friend back, and this whole thing was just extremely avoidable. Not every day do we talk about incidents where, you know, making TikTok videos or social media content results in a fatal accident, but it is sadly becoming more and more common. As I've been covering the stuff that unfolds on social media for close to a decade now, and suddenly it's been a lot more now than what it was before. But this case is just another tragic reminder of how quickly things can spiral out of control when some cloud on social media takes priority over just some basic common sense. Because Maria's actions didn't only lead to the end of Niall's life, but also destroyed her future and a family that night. And for what? A few likes on TikTok? Really? It's really never worth it. The potential upside is nothing compared to that potential downside. But the fact that that happened and then she returned to just making the same type of content like nothing ever happened, that's also extremely shocking. But hopefully she at least learns from this. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
What's up, GQ? This is Phantom, and today I'm going undercover on the internet, and this is actually me. Jeez. I know you don't think it is, but it's actually me. Reddit. What are Phantom's top 5 streams? Okay, my top 5 streams. Okay, first of all, 9 to 5 stream, tough. Phantom X Biggie collab in New York City, wavy. When Curry Go came on stream, that was one of my favorite streams of all time. It was so wholesome and funny, and it was a gold on stream. All mukbangs. I don't have a favorite one, just all of them together. All mukbangs is my favorite streams. And then number 5, I would say the first ever VHS camera on stream while live, having a VHS cam in New York City. That was tough. Those are my top 5. Responsible Bell 4742. Bro, why does Phantom turn everything into a motivational moment? Because why not? Literally, like, why not? Like, why can't I? You know what I'm saying? Why can't you just be better than you was yesterday? Why can't I just excel and just be the best version that I can be? Why not? Why not
I look like
really just
Verbal.
go hard at what you're doing, at your creative path? Like, why not just be number one if you could be number one? If you want to be number 2 and 3 all the time? No, let's go for number one. Let's be the best.
I gotta
Let's be
look
a boss.
him
Let's
up
be
because
that. Let's be Himothy.
so
You know what I'm
many
saying?
people be
Let's keep
saying I
going.
look like
Don't
him.
let them doubt you. Don't let them play with you. You already know you're number one. You already know what you got to do. Show them. Prove them wrong. Be the best version of you. Let's do it, baby. Imagine this being the first Phantom stream you see. That's Curry Gold on stream. We got an ice cold bathtub in the back. We got a 7-foot Christmas tree. We got Black Santa in a cut. It's a lot going on. Kind of like Family Guy moments. It's a lot of random things going on at all times. Instagram. Where the fuck did... Wait, you want me to curse or not? Where the fuck did he get a Batmobile from? Okay, listen.
He
You
said
know what I'm
make a
saying? Bomb
ring with
times,
it.
all right? This is a legendary picture, by the way, on IG. I mean, we went crazy. Over
Oh.
1 million likes on Instagram. Shot by Vinny. I mean, wow. Movie. Listen, don't ask me how I got it. Just know that we got it. All right? Let's just keep it there. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's better not to ask too many questions. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Words. Bobla Bagosi. Why do New Yorkers take deli sandwiches so seriously? Okay. It's just a way of life. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I've said this multiple times, and for some reason, y'all just don't want to accept it. It's just the way of life. It's New York. You know what I'm saying? Early in the morning, you get a sandwich. Midday, you go also get a sandwich.
I
Dinner,
would do that, but I
sandwich.
ain't got
You know what I'm
enough
saying?
space.
It don't matter. You want to eat good, go to the corner store and get something nice. You know what I'm saying? It's just...
This is a got up too fast from tying your shoes back injury. Lucky for you,
I would
Amazon
do
One Medical can
do
help.
push-ups, but I ain't got
Great
enough
for
space.
sneeze-related back
I
injuries
got
too.
shit right here, my bed right here, shoes right here,
Are you
dresser
ready
over
to
there,
supercharge
refrigerator
your
right
journey?
there.
Introducing the GCU Summer Accelerator Track, where you can earn your bachelor's degree.
It's part of me.
This
And he
whole
said, how
room
many
like a
tries do
mini
y'all think it
apartment.
took him to get the last pick? I'm not gonna lie. Yo, Vinny, how many tries? Like 6 or 7? It took one
said
try.
do
It took
one.
one time. One time it was instant. Boom. That's it. Nah, you see what I'm saying? You see what's going on. Hello. Everybody spam hello in the chat. All right, let's see some YouTube comments. Cool Grandpa 1942. That's not a first. 1942, you texted me. All right. Still to this day, trying to figure out how and why Phantom pulled up to GQ with this big ass fridge. First of all, why not? You know what I'm saying? Just be different. You know what I'm saying? That's like, you've never seen that before. Big old fridge, everything I like in there. It's a fridge on the go. Now, I can bring a fridge right now if I want, so I'm not gonna
That's
do
a
it though.
dab pen
I could
too.
though. Why
This a
not?
dab bar.
Can we see Phantom in movies? Like, what's next for this guy? Take my money, please. Okay, short films coming, movie roles. I can't say too much. Literally, I literally legally can't say that. Phantom says that he wants to keep his 8 kids off the internet, and only the people around him should know about his private life. Bro, last time he said there was 3. Since when the fuck is there 8 now? Homie, I'm drooling on my screen, laughing my ass off. What's your favorite food? It just depends the day. I don't really have a specific plate. Good ass food, that's it. You feel me? I just want to eat good all the time. So I don't have a favorite food. It just depends on my day. Will the troop ever get a subathon from Wayno? I mean, we need a troupathon. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to see a troupathon? We can do that. We can cook that up. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. We might be in the works. I don't want to say too much, though. 30 days? Who knows? Maybe even 60 days. Who knows? I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna say too much, though. Now it's time for Cora. I know what this is. Which NBA 2K is the GOAT, the greatest of all time, the best 2K of all time, in my personal opinion, is 2K16. 17 is close to me too. I love 17 as well, but 16 was like River City, step back, doing, oh man, ankle breakers. It was just fun. It was just chain nets. It was simple stuff. You know? Why is my son constantly saying something about a skibbity gap phantom sex? What does it mean? It means your son is in tune, updated with the world. He knows what's going on. See, you on the other hand, I have a problem if you don't know what's going on, and your son does, okay? I need you to have that conversation with him. Take him outside because he knows this because he's online all damn day, and it's because he hears us talking and shit like that. Tired shit. Where do I go for the best Dominican food in New York City? I would say anywhere in the Bronx or Brooklyn, or even Spanish.
This TikToker got 5 years in prison after a not-so-innocent dancing video ended the life of her friend. And the worst part is that, at this point, things like this are becoming so much more frequent than what they should. It hasn't even been 2 weeks since we last covered one of these cases in which a TikTok video ended tragically due to the careless behavior of a teenager.
push-ups.
On top of that, Both of these situations are just extremely avoidable. But instead
I
of
hit a blinker
speeding
after I do these
challenges,
5
this time the
push-ups.
disaster happened after a girl decided to record a dancing video with some
Even though I ain't
friends
got no
while
room.
holding a firearm, a real one. Wife beat Mariah Clayton. At the time of this tragedy, she was a 20-year-old woman who was sentenced to 5 years in prison and pleaded guilty to accidentally shooting her friend Anaya Womack with an AR-15 in an apartment in Florida. This full investigation started when the Jacksonville Sheriff's deputy car noticed a car speeding down the street at 90 miles an hour. The car also had their hazards on, headed straight to the closest hospital. So the officers then decided to follow the car because, well, they thought there was likely a real emergency going on here, and they were right.
There you go.
As
I
the car
did
was
10.
indeed in a critical situation. When they arrived at the hospital in Jacksonville, both the driver and Mariah left the car and told the police they had a shooting victim in the back seat who needed help as soon as possible. And the victim is Anaya Womack, a 19-year-old girl who had her life ended from a...
I was like, didn't I just see this video? Alright, I might have hit a blinker. Hold on, let me see something.
Wix, one platform, any website, unlimited creation. Describe your needs and goals, and AI will...
This TikToker got 12 years of prison for filming a challenge for social media. And I mean, we've covered these guys before who filmed themselves cutting through traffic, doing 150 miles an hour on public roads, all for some social media attention. And sadly, this was the type of content this dude made before his arrest. So meet Noah Thomas Gale, and it's safe to say one of his social media challenges ended terribly wrong.
A Wellington man will soon be headed to prison after his reckless driving turned deadly.
Noah Galley accepted a plea agreement today for causing a traffic crash that took the lives of 6 people in 2022.
This whole story is just so depressing and avoidable. It's not like the first
saying
time
the
we
same
covered a
thing.
case like this, so I guess you already know the
I'm a
type. While it's
grown
definitely
ass
not
man.
even close to as bad, Jack Doherty is probably the most recent to appear on this channel doing something at a similar
Wait till
level
I
of stupidity,
stop
where he
vaping.
not only put his own life at risk, but everyone else on the road, because he decided that he was going to live stream, look at chat, and drive all at the same time. Thankfully, Jack wasn't driving 150 miles an hour, though, because that's a clear difference between the two. But Jack realized what he was doing was stupid because right before it happened, he even predicted it.
Literally, guys, you can't see shit. I'm most likely going to crash this car. No, I'm kidding. Hopefully not. No! No!
And even prior to Jack, we've also covered the case of
You
Squeeze
gonna lie,
Benz,
I
whose
ain't did
entire online
push-ups in so
content
long.
revolves around speeding through the city streets, getting the police to chase them, and then trying to outrun the cops just for the thrill of it. And, of course, for social media attention. But even though these cases could have always been considered a straight path to Darwinism, the behavior is extremely selfish by them, as they put random families that unfortunately have to share the road with them at risk. And sadly, the worst possible case scenario happened here. So here we have
Who's the
Noah, a
lab dog?
20-year-old former Instagram and TikTok influencer who got 12 years in prison after ending the lives of 6 people in Delray Beach. But in order to fully understand this story, we need to go back 3 years in time to where the real incident actually happened. Because this absolute disaster happened in January 2022, where at the time, Noah was only 17, and this was the age he started to build a following on social media, specifically on Instagram and TikTok. Here, he started getting traction for these quiz challenge contests, which doesn't sound too bad to begin with, but then you realize they're just straight up Darwinism. But the premise is kind of innocent, where, you know, his audience, they guess a question to his quiz, and if they answer correctly, he sends them $25 on Cash App. Now, if that was a normal quiz, there wouldn't really be too much to worry about. Just another teenager having fun on social media and interacting with his audience. Until these quizzes were based on him flying down the road at an unknown speed. We don't have the footage to show the extent of menace this dude would be most of the time, but according to WESH2, one of the deputies who later worked on this case assured that one video posted to social media shows Gale driving 181 miles an hour on Interstate 95 past the Gateway Boulevard overpass. So you may be asking, what does this have to do with a quiz challenge? Well, as he was driving 150 plus miles an hour down the road, he would film himself and then have his audience guess, how fast was he going? That's right. So you have a teenager barreling down a public highway at 150 miles an hour plus, one hand on the wheel, one hand on his phone, looking around, trying to get that good angle, and then asking his audience, "Hey, how fast do you think I'm going?"
When I first seen that, I was like, I gotta
That is
have
the
it.
dumbest thing I've heard of in a long time. Anyone with 2 brain cells would know
fucking
that would end
cart pipe.
horribly, which it did. It's really hard to
Like, I
think of a
ain't
more
never seen no
selfish and
futuristic shit
reckless
like
social
that
media
before.
stunt. And what's absolutely disgusting about
So
this
you
is
told
this
me a
was
nigga
not
can
some
smoke like
one-time
Popeye
stupid
now?
decision. His entire content
He's swole as
revolved
hell.
around these kinds of
Smoking out of a
challenges.
pipe.
And this sadly led to the end of 6 innocent lives just a few weeks after he started doing this.
Noah Thomas Gall, who has turned 18 since the January 2022 accident, was behind the wheel of the BMW when the 6 women were killed leaving work, according to police.
So, again, on January 27, 2022, Noah was driving a BMW M5 down the road in Palm Beach County, recording
Like back
himself
then, I
posting
used to watch
pictures
that
like
little
he
TV
normally
show
does. But if you ever
on the
challenged his
box
audience to
TV.
guess his speed, the person who would get $25 would be the one who replied 151 miles an hour.
I'll
Yes,
do 10.
he was going 151 miles an hour on impact. And who did he hit? Well, he hit 6 farm workers who were heading home after a long shift. They were all inside of one SUV together, and they couldn't have seen it coming because the dude hit them at 150 miles an hour from behind.
Officers involved noticed a smell of alcohol coming from Noah, but investigators say they ran tests and nothing was found in his system. Data collected through the investigation from his car showed he was actually going 151 miles an hour. Investigators also discovered Instagram posts from his profile showing him driving at what they describe as extremely high rates of speed weeks before the crash happened. But today, at his first appearance, his defense team said those videos, however, never show his face, so there's no way to say for sure that it was him.
And as you would expect, this is a nightmare of a scene. 3 people were actually ejected out of the car. And all while, of course, the social media influencer Noah here, he walked away from that incident virtually unharmed. Sadly, the same could not be said for the 6 other victims. 5 of the victims passed away right on the scene, and the last one passed away at the hospital.
Damn, bro.
Bro, this is one of those stories that just, like, I've read this story like 20 plus times now, and it's still,
I'm gonna go
bad.
live in the gym
It's
tomorrow.
hard not to be frustrated with people like
I'm gonna
this.
try to be the first person in the gym.
Struck at a grain east
Cause I
side,
don't like
broke.
going
It was
live when
occupied
there's
by 6
people in
people,
the
as we
gym.
mentioned. 5 of them were deceased on scene, and one later
People
was pronounced dead at the
be
hospital.
nosy
6
and shit.
people are gone because a teenager couldn't help himself from recklessly engagement
There we
farming on
go.
social
My
media. Are
moderator
you
subbed and
serious?
like, you know
And
what I'm
at first,
saying?
Noah Gale was facing 90 years in prison, but Noah's father is Craig Gale, a very prominent local attorney in Florida. But Craig was actually not a part of his son's defense team. The defense attorney claimed that their client had been on psychiatric medicine since
I
he
need
was
to get
about
me a
12,
Honda
suggesting
Accord.
that this might have contributed to the accident. But they never specified what
I
he was
already
actually
drove
being
one
treated
of
for.
those.
They also talked about
So I
Noah's
think that'll be the
efforts
best
to
cut for me.
fundraise for the victims' families, and that several significant undiagnosed medical conditions should be taken into account when it comes to his judgment.
Oh,
They
yeah,
even
I
read a
remember,
statement in court saying that not a day goes by in
'cause
which
that
Noah
was the
doesn't
same.
think about his reckless actions, and that he
That
wishes
was the
every day
same
that he
day
had passed in the accident and not
he
the
became my
victims. And
moderator.
while that's likely true, the whole situation is just depressing because the victims, they should have been here right now, and nobody has any business
And
doing
it
this
was
kind of
also
dumb
the same
challenges for
day
some basic
that
social
little
media
boy
attention.
told us
But
about his
instead of the
parents.
90 years he was originally facing after a plea agreement between both parties, he ended up getting 12 and a half years in prison. Obviously, that is still a hefty sentence, but low for ending the lives of 6 people. And then on top of that, just posting all these speed challenges continuously before the accident doesn't seem like much of the attitude of someone who is so concerned about human lives like that. The prosecutor of this case, Al Johnson, defended the plea deal, and he said it was fair and empathized that it had support from the victim's family members.
Ooh,
Why is this a fair resolution?
ain't even cap to you.
We have a
I'm finna show y'all my dream car.
is
Cause look,
accepting
I
responsibility.
built
No
this car
amount
when,
of time
like a model version of this
bring
car
back the victims.
when I was like 13 or
for the families.
14.
Relatives of the
And I
victims
was
did
like,
not
that's been
attend
my
today's
dream
court
car
hearing,
ever
but Johnson
since.
says they agreed to the plea deal.
The victims all have written to us that they do not object to this. Some of them didn't even want him to go to jail at all. One wanted us to drop the case entirely.
But I mean, either way, at the end of the day, 6 families lost their loved ones 6 women who were just trying to make it home from work never made it. 6 lives ended because someone thought social media clout was more important than basic human decency. And now, these families have to live with the knowledge of the person responsible will probably be out of prison before they turn 35. Was the social
This
media
car
attention
right
really
here.
worth it for this $25 challenge? I hope not.
Yeah. Dream car. No cap. Ever since I built it, I was like, I need this car.
Some of the feet, so let's get into this tea. We about to get into Corey scared, Carmen might get deported. Chris and Quinn, let's get it. Lastly, I spoke on Regine's uncle Casey going off on Regine and Toya after some scenes appeared on the show that he didn't approve of. Well, then he started throwing strays at Armand.
$10,000 a month, and your uncle do music, and you done bought Armand a $20,000 worth of $20,000 watch that you met to do 3 months in front of my face, lady. I walk with you. That's your money. You do what you want to do. But I told you, nigga, wasn't for you.
How can you feel like that's your money, you do what you want to do, and this nigga like, you gonna do it in my face? Like, who thought that that was like a bad thing to do? Nobody should have thought that, especially when they spending their own damn money. Regardless if I like Armand or not, that boy was putting down that hammer. He was putting down that Thundercat. Not Thundercat, Thunderdick. Okay? Uncle. You wasn't, you the uncle. Come on now.
This nigga like red balls. Man, Rudy been having all the hoes, gang. We know when a nigga sweet. We know when a nigga ain't for you. I'm your uncle. I'm in the
I ain't
street.
gonna lie, that's tough.
So
You know what I'm
Armand
saying?
responded on Twitter with, it's easy
Cool,
to
cause we
spaz
just
out and
vibe.
be reckless, but it's much more powerful to stay cool and play chess. Armand. Now. You know what? Nope. Nope, nope, nope. But y'all know. Oh, y'all know. Because I mean, nigga. Hold on now. Everybody else got a big bag. Everybody. Come on now. Nah, but. No, ma'am. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. He said what he had to say. Jesus Christ. So let's move on to this next topic with Chris and Queen and their former manager, Janae. So now Janae has been claiming to have some receipts on Chris and Queen's breakup being staged. Well, she just dropped those receipts on TikTok. She has
Oh, this is
messages
sausage.
with Chris
You know what I'm
and
saying?
Queen of them planning out this
I
whole
just
thing.
burnt it.
When I was trying to think if I was gonna even drop this
I was gonna
video,
put it in this burrito,
Chris songs just like
but
y'all
it's
did.
burnt.
And in
So
my mind, I'm
I
thinking
just,
like,
you know what I'm saying?
if I drop what I got, can I be messing up something? And I was like, let me listen to the song myself. Okay, all right. And then I said, the man is genius. And let me tell you why he's genius. Now, I don't know how Chris feels. He might very much want to be back with her, whatever.
Facts.
Who knows? I don't know. But
I would choose sausage over bacon any
did he not
day.
just make a male version of medicine? And did he not just take
That's
us on a
just
journey
me.
on his whole
Sausage with eggs over bacon and eggs.
Red Couch? The song Red Couch is fire. Let me put that out there first. The song Red Couch is fire. I'ma tell y'all who took us down memory lane with 3 or 4 people, and he said it fast as hell, and I almost understood every word
And
he
I ain't
said.
gonna know.
Yeah,
I ain't
Corey.
gonna lie. Me personally, I think I cook the best sausage.
Corey was like,
Cause I throw my own
because I
seasoning
gave
and
her the dick
everything.
and she wanted a baby, but she didn't get to have the baby, so boom, we done with her. Karma,
Like,
man, because
if,
he
if y'all was like over here with me,
broke it all
and
the way
y'all
down
said,
with everybody he was
oh,
into it with.
throw down in the kitchen right quick.
I just,
Boom.
every song that Chris had before these
Cause I know how to cook.
songs, he has definitely broke it down. It just wasn't these songs. He took us down memory lane with the other songs, for sure. And like he just said today, brother, I just want to tell y'all my story because I feel like y'all didn't hear it, and then I'm done with it.
I'm gonna do a TikTok cooking with
You
Kizzy.
should definitely just like re-put out all them other songs, because all the other songs really told you what was going on.
Changing his life
with him.
Did she not take us on the same journey? Well, hers was moving on. What if his journey is trying to get her back?
So I'm gonna say this too now, because I feel what she's saying on that. I'm gonna tell you this. The nigga said that the music was basically about their story, right? He is kind of still insinuating that he want her back. But what Chris will really and truly stress you out at is he say he don't want her.
Peach Fanta mixed with pineapple
I've
Sprite.
been saying for years, this music sound like that boy want her back. But then he'll come out and be like, I don't want her back. I don't want her at all. And then he'll be like, okay, I kind of believe you. So if he don't want her,
And this the best drink right here.
right?
Anything I make is always
Why does it never
the
sound
best.
like you're moving on? You know what I'm saying? It does always sound like, man, we were supposed to be. We could have been. We had. You know? It's never like we came, we saw and conquered record sales and sold out concert, but I'm moving on to Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? He don't he never actually takes us into the next stage. And that's just the part that I don't
Anything
understand.
I make is always the
Call
best.
me a
You know what
hater,
I'm
I
saying?
don't care. I've liked that boy music forever. Now this new situation, Red Couch, first song, top tier. Not necessarily feeling the rest, but all his other music has already broken down what has gone on with him, what he was thinking, his hurt, his pain, with everything that he's done. He's took 40% accountability for sure, 40%. But other than that, I don't get it.
Because the song that he wrote,
See, I see you the next time. You know what I'm saying?
but the timing. That's what I want everybody to
Maybe
understand.
later. You know
The
what I'm
timing.
saying?
When you are I have only met 2.5 people in this YouTube space. Not saying that more exists, but only that I've encountered. I've only met 2.5 people in this YouTube space that are ultimate beasts when it comes to understanding how to control your audience, how to control your narrative, and how to market yourself. And
Damien is one of them.
One thing about somebody that's talented and somebody that has a true anointing over their life, regardless of what you might think, because they did something, when you belong to God, he don't change his mind. You know? So, if you are talented enough to do it one time, you lose it. Yeah, it's a blow. She can do it again.
Chris could have been right back straight in 30 days. In 30 days. People loved Chris just like they love him again. I absolutely supported Chris. Even with the cheating, I'm like, Hell, I like her better with Clarence anyway. Let's see who Chris find. Chris get with who was I don't think it was Parker and me. Chris got with several women, went down the same goddamn path. The same path. So it was like, okay, we're starting to see what the problem is. So then when you do this and you don't have no accountability and you don't have this, you don't have that. Now, 7 years later, this is Chris' fault. I have worked with Janae before, and at one point I was going through a breakup, and girl, I was a mess. I couldn't even 555 in the chat. I couldn't even speak. Right? I could not get my shit together. But anyway, Janae is very, very much so direct and very assertive, and she said, "You alright? I don't like your energy." And I was like, "No, I'm not. I'm not good." She was like, "Okay. Outside of what I already had going on, what's the other I told her money. She was like, "So what's the problem with money?" I said, "Well, I have this channel, this channel, this channel. This going on, that going on. I ain't making no money." She said, "That's your fault." And that was it. She literally said, "That's your fault. You better learn how to maximize with what you got." Girl, and that was it. After that, I had a charger that went missing. Shout out to Janae. She helped pay for the damn charger. Janae is not a bad person. I know a lot of y'all don't care for Janae. I fuck with Janae for different reasons. She is assertive and she is very, very to the point. Very dry too, but she's a good person. And Damien is a nigga who can really do his thing, but Chris can too. Chris just like to play victim all the time. I don't care what y'all say. He play victim too much. And if he has somebody around him that'll say, "Stop playing victim, gang," and just hold your down. Y'all, we all ain't. Let's just think about it. We all ain't, bruh. We all ain't. Not one person in here can say, like, "I ain't never did no shiesty." We all ain't. But, like, he won't just fully, like, commit.
You said that's my goal.
Y'all gonna take it or leave it. And I guarantee you they would take it. Because now that's what he doing with certain situations. Not all the situations.
Now my goal is to be rich and just don't have to worry about that.
I'm not surprised that he is back where he is. I'm not surprised because of the fact when we were in the booth putting together,
Want to get to the
this
point where
strategy to help
ain't gotta
push this narrative,
worry about
he was one of the key players, and the other person that probably don't want to
to
mention was one of the key players too, and me, and
you know what I'm saying?
literally structured this narrative. This narrative was structured so well that medicine was born. She was signed to Capitol. She was touring all over the world, selling out arena, well, I don't know, concerts or whatever, and getting nominated for awards, all type of stuff. And when I tell you, as time goes on and I start breaking down how that was done, so that way you can see how you can kind of put yourself in her situation and try and craft your own story and tell a little bit of truth with a little bit of, extraness or whatever, and see where it takes you. Because we're about to watch Chris take off to the next level, like he helped her take off. Argue with your mama, as y'all say. He did. He has never been given credit for it.
I spoke to Janae about Chris privately a long time ago. She said Chris is actually a great guy. Was it after that? They did. Okay. Now, I don't think that they got together after that and was like, you should go to New York. Chris didn't want Queen to go to New York at all, actually. He didn't want her to go to New York. He didn't want her to be with Clarence. He didn't want her talking to Clarence. That part wasn't planned. And hell, after that, it was Murder, She Wrote. So I disagree with that.
And, you know, everybody coming for Clarence in the basement and all this other stuff and whatever. That's one argument, but the biggest part is that man has never gotten his flowers from that girl publicly. $1 million worth of game. I'm gonna put the clip in here. Gilly looked at her and said, "We gotta give my man his flowers because of the fact he pushed you to get to here."
I don't disagree with that either. I don't disagree with the fact that he was the one that started this outside of Damien. I don't disagree. But after a nigga cheat on you and do you wrong, it ain't too many compliments you gonna give. But go ahead.
I mean,
And for whatever reason, she didn't, you know. But my thing is, I know for a fact.
It's not the what for whatever reason. It's so many reasons. It's still a reason. Even if she were to give him that today, the nigga's still not gonna leave her alone. But I agree, everybody does deserve their flowers. That's why I'll say I like his music till I turn blue. I don't care. That nigga got some good music. Now this music he got today, I'm not with it. Chris, that Red Couch song was the one. I ain't with them. But you know, we really gonna agree to disagree. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was the other day I got upset. Do you hear me? And it was because I don't know, when you want a person to just like, hey bro, you can really be that nigga, because on the low, you are. Y'all, everybody used to love Chris. He's so focused on everybody hate Chris though. And that's the problem. He's so focused on everybody hate Chris instead of focusing on why everybody loves Chris. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, I don't get it. But I don't know. I ain't nothing I can say. He think everything I say is bad. So,
Okay.
you know, I'm when a nigga starts saying woman and lady, he think my old ass just don't like him. And that's just not it, bro. He think I'm bringing up the past because I don't like him. No, nigga. The things that you did, you can't keep taunting that girl. Leave her alone. Let's get to know who Chris is, bro. Let's get to know Chris. Let's get to know Christopher Sebastian Self. Let's get to know him. Not why he don't like Queen. Not why something happened with him and Queen. Not him and Queen anything. I don't give a... We know. Like, we know. You know what I'm saying? It's so old. It's so in the past. And every time he say something about her, all that just come right back up. That bullshit just come right back up,
I
y'all.
got an Xbox
Fuck Queen. You know what I'm
Series
saying? We know
X.
who Queen is. We know who Queen's man is. We know who Queen's children is. We know what happened to Queen. We know why it happened to Queen. Got it. Now who the is Chris? Who, y'all clip this since y'all clip everything else. Who the is Chris? We want to know Chris. We want to know Chris without Queen. Who is he? That's it. Everybody doesn't have everybody's not the greatest messenger. You know? because you got to get through certain first. But I swear, if we wasn't talking about a queen and him, none of that matters. On God. None of that matters, bro. He may not know, but he gonna find out. We all on a journey to get to know who we really are. And ain't nothing wrong with him not knowing if he don't know. All I'm saying is, bro, everybody fell in love with the nigga for a reason. He has done a lot of things that people don't like, granted, but that don't matter. The person he went through it with, she's obviously forgiven him. I mean, to the point where she has nothing to say. Remember, at one point she had too much to say. Y'all not listening. At one point she had too much to say. Now she has nothing. So I don't, deep down, I don't care what he did. I don't care why he did it. I want Chris to move on. I want to know who Chris is without being attached to Queen, period. And without insulting his kid, mama, and his kid, stepdad. That's it. And I think that's okay, you know? And if people don't get that, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. It is what it is. I never take none of this serious anymore. You can want more for people than what they want for themselves. Now that's what's up. That's the book in this world. You want more for people than they want for themselves. And you know, it is what it is.
That he was 80% of the reason why things went the way it did. And as I said that, I kind of laughed a little bit because I was like, yeah, because he cheated. But that's not the point. That cheating thing too, I'm gonna get into that as I break this stuff down. But right now, I wanted to make sure I dropped something tonight, especially since this band had dropped this song. Well, the snippet of it, I said, let me get this stuff out the way because I'm notorious for starting this stuff and then going missing and don't come back for another 3-4 years. So I'm gonna go ahead. Here's the first receipt, and this is just really my notes.
Janae is dropping receipts. What the fuck are we dropping? On your video, I love him, but I gotta go. It's too much in the video. With beautiful something checking in the house, getting ready to move out, going home to clear head. Public apology, pop-up, surprise with a dog, flowers, I'm sorry. Yeah, this ain't got nothing to do with Clarence. Play date with baby CJ.
Notes of the way we gonna do these videos, and I can't read it because it's but those were the notes of the videos we're gonna do. Here's the actual videos.
Speak to me through social media and videos and have people come spam me, trying to sweet talk me. I'm not trying to hear it. Everybody else go spam. How about everybody else go spam Chris on his social media account? I said social media account. And tell him I said get out my house.
Now, the problem is they've taken these down. Both of them have taken the videos down off of their channels. But if you put in the titles, other people have reacted to it and used the same titles. Here's some of our text messages that confirm that this is what happened.
This is for Chris. Get out my house. Gonna tell Chris this. Okay. LOL. I'm gonna tell that. And I'm gonna tell Chris that. Let's get smart with your fans. LOL. Okay. Is make on it. Make the whole video.
The thing that has been said about her leaving him and, how that's not true. And not that I'm here to myth-bust her because, whatever. But I want to show you all how we were able to put something together to the point that it literally changed lives, some for good, some for the bad, but we literally took a situation and manipulated it to the point that, it's all bad, but so that's what y'all was mad about because of the fact we was lying, we was making up stuff, but some of the stuff was true. It wasn't like I was just sitting back there and I keep saying this Mona Scott thing, and people getting their feelings about Mona Scott existed before me. Yeah, she existed before me, and I actually think what Mona Scott did was legendary because of the fact, that's another thing. But The YouTube space, I'm sorry. I'm standing on this 10 toes. It's 3 people. For the OGs and the newbies should think the OGs are the reason why. What do they say? They ran so you could walk. And I'm standing on it.
That's the only part I don't disagree with. The rest, I don't know.
The foundation was built on 3 people, and I'm explaining to you another video. But let's just say Chris is one of those.
So now one of the messages that she was sending to Queen, you can see they're planning out a title for that video that Queen dropped. Now this video has been deleted, but I believe the video was titled "Tell Chris to Get Out of My House." Now as you can see with these messages, Queen is giving Janae some titles and they're going back and forth on what title to put on that video. Now I do believe the whole cheating thing with Chris was real, but I believe after Queen decided to forgive him, then they started making plans to drop these series of videos. But I believe when Queen met Clarence, then it was a wrap and she was officially done. But that's where I'm at with it. That's just my opinion on. So that's exactly where I'm at with it. Like in the beginning, obviously, it was a plan for something, and Janae is absolutely one of them for that. So I'm not surprised by. I do feel like it was though a halt in that, and I feel like with Chris cheating either again or whatever happened at some point, Queen was like, nah, I'm straight. So that's when Queen moved out. And then Queen addressed this years ago. Where is that at? I'm not gonna lie, none of this is surprising to me. Like, it's some truth to what Janae is saying, and it's also truth to Queen's actual story. But she's also saying that it was some lies and some truths. I don't know. I don't know all of this. I mean, Janae did state previously that Clarence played his part as well. Not sure what part he played, but you guys leave your opinions down below. But let's move on to this next topic with Carmen and Corey. Clarence respond, because I don't know. Now, Corey is stating that he can't be silenced. Now, another one of his pages were banned from going live, but Corey made some videos on TikTok claiming that Carmen won't divorce him. Now, Corey is back to using the whole excuse that now that Trump is in office, that he's divorced.